I wanted to know what an airport would cost me if I counted every hidden charge for a full day, and the first surprise was that the airport usually is not just one business. It is an ecosystem of toll booths wearing different uniforms. Some charges come from airlines, some come from the airport operator, some come from concession companies, some come from parking contractors, card processors, or currency exchange desks. To the passenger, it all feels like one giant airport ripoff. But the reason the money keeps disappearing is that several different businesses are monetizing the same trapped customer from different angles at the same time. That is not an exaggeration. According to airport industry data summarized in 2025, non-aeronautical revenue accounted for 36.7% of global airport revenue in 2023 and historically has hovered around almost 40%. That means a huge slice of airport income is not coming from planes landing or passengers boarding. It is coming from the things you buy, the parking you use, the food you grab, the ad you look at, and the retail space rented out around you. Car parking alone accounted for about 24% of non-aeronautical revenue in 2023, while retail concessions made up about 20%. So when an airport sells you convenience, it is not a side hustle. It is a core business model. The cleanest way to understand the trap is to walk through one airport day in order, because the charges do not hit all at once. They arrive like a relay race. The first fee often lands before you even see the terminal. If you drive, parking starts the meter. If you ride share, surge pricing can punish the exact moment you need reliability most. If a friend drops you off, some airports now monetize curb space and timing in indirect ways through congestion or holding patterns. Either way, the airport economy starts extracting money before security, before coffee, before the first boarding call. Parking is one of the most reliable extraction points because it feels like logistics rather than spending. Official airport parking pages show how fast the numbers climb, even outside the world's most notorious hubs. One current example from John Wayne Airport in California lists terminal parking at $4 per hour with a $30 daily cap, off-airport main lot parking at $20 daily, and curbside valet at $50 daily. None of those figures sound like a criminal mastermind speech. They sound normal. That is exactly why parking is so effective. Miss your pickup window, arrive early, or leave a car for a multi-day trip, and parking becomes more expensive than the cheapest airfare you found online. Then the airline gets its turn. Many passengers say the airport charged me for my bag, but the more accurate statement is that the airport was the stage where an airline fee became unavoidable. According to the U.S. Bureau of Transportation Statistics, U.S. scheduled passenger airlines reported about $4 billion in baggage fee revenue in 2025. They also reported another roughly $1 billion in reservation change fees. Those numbers matter because they prove this is not a side annoyance. Ancillary fees are a massive revenue stream. The base fare is often the bait. The money comes later through the bag, the seat, the flexibility, and the fear that something will go wrong if you do not pay. That fear-based design shows up everywhere in the travel journey. Overhead bin anxiety makes a carry-on fee feel safer. The possibility of being split from family makes a seat assignment fee feel necessary. A long line makes priority boarding or fast-track security feel like self-defense. And the Department of Transportation took this so seriously that its 2024 fee transparency rule was projected to save consumers more than $500 million per year by forcing clearer upfront disclosure of baggage, carry-on, change, and cancellation fees. The department also explicitly required notice that passengers are not required to pay extra for a seat assignment in order to travel. That line is astonishing when you think about it. Regulators had to remind people that a seat fee is optional because the system had become so good at making optional charges feel mandatory. By the time you clear security, the next machine turns on: the captive audience marketplace. This is the point in the airport day when normal shopping logic starts to collapse. Outside the airport, you can compare prices, walk a few streets, or postpone a purchase. Inside the airport, time pressure replaces competition. Hunger replaces patience. And basic items start carrying an emotional surcharge because missing the gate feels worse than overpaying for lunch. Airport food is the perfect example because it is easy to mock and harder to explain honestly. Travelers see a sandwich priced like a restaurant meal and assume pure greed. because it is one of the oldest examples of a charge that feels too petty to resist. In airports that charge for carts, the fee is not usually catastrophic. That is exactly why it works. The traveler is already moving bags, watching children, checking departure boards, and scanning for the next line. The charge is small enough to pay, annoying enough to remember, and common enough to reveal a pattern. The airport economy is full of low-friction decisions that become high-margin revenue once multiplied by millions of people.